all want to be a millionaire, and crypto is a damn good vehicle to do it. A lot of people have made way more than just $1 million, so is $1 million really that much to ask for? And if you've been in this bull market very early, you've already made some very good profits already, so you're feeling good about what's to come. But before we get into it, let's take a look at the news. We've seen Bitcoin absolutely smashing at the moment, getting close to its all-time highs, and it's looking good. But if we actually take a look at the data for this, it's 71% of the Bitcoin growth has been from ETF investments. And a lot of investors have said the ETF has made it incredibly easy to invest in Bitcoin. They feel much better about doing it. So a lot of what's been growing Bitcoin lately is institutional money. And this is a lot of new institutional money that hasn't really invested in crypto before. And if you take a look at the wallet sizes, this confirms it. A lot of hundreds of thousands of transactions, much bigger than a lot of small time investors would do. So even retail is not actually in crypto yet. So ICP actually hasn't seen the growth from the FOMO retail investors that haven't even entered the market yet. But guys, if you do want me to go and threaten people on the street to buy ICP so you can see those sweet gains, like and subscribe, and I will get the confidence to make sure you make those gains, and I'll just do the dirty work. But anyway, let's get back to the video. If you take a look at the interest in Bitcoin, we can see that it's still relatively low. If we compare this to the bull market previously, we're only at a third of where we were before. We still haven't got those FOMO retail traders who would just buy into the narrative without having the foundations there. And what do I mean by that? So ICP isn't quite ready to take on the world yet. It's still growing its ecosystem. It's still getting the adoptions. New apps are taking time to build. So it's taking time for it to build up use on its network, which is fine. It's a very ambitious project at that, the most ambitious in crypto. And generally when you have those most ambitious narratives, these retail FOMO guys coming in, they're going to see this narrative and they're absolutely going to run away with it, because why wouldn't you? It sounds freaking amazing. They're trying to take over the internet, and in theory, if we own enough ICP, we can become a millionaire. What would you do with your millions? You guys would be buying your yacht, getting your chicks, your champagne, etc. And girls, maybe your yachts with guys. I don't know, whatever you want to do, your millions, I don't care. Let's just make them. I love this graph. It is great for just understanding the market cycle. We are at this optimism phase. Even just before that, we still haven't seen those people enter the market, where these people are just going to drive up the price rapidly. So we're still around this phase. We have a massive growth to go. And ICP has already seen a really nice rally this year. I still believe it's got a ways to go. You just need to forget about how good ICP is in terms of its revenues, what apps are on it right now, because when it gets into this cycle, people don't really care about that. People just kind of care about what are the goals of this project. And ICP has those very ambitious goals, so it has the potential to grow massively. Since we're still here, we still have a long ways to go. We've got the Bitcoin halving coming up next month, and then we'll start to see some major gains. I feel like it's going to end around November, December, January. Even if we take a look at the Bitcoin price before, we can see that it absolutely skyrocketed from October at 13K, and we peaked first time in April. That's 6 months. It happened very fast. And if you're not already getting involved, if you miss this, you're going to be very sad. You're probably going to buy in here. You're going to ride this to here. You're going to sell. It's going to go back up. I'm not saying that we're going to do exactly the same thing, guys. I'm sure it's not that simple, or is it? We'll see. And then you buy back in here and you're screwed. So we're around somewhere here, and you kind of want to start getting in if you're already not. If you're holding, great. You're in a good time. But where can we go from here? Well, let's look at Solana for starters. Solana is at a $60 billion market cap. When we're at peak, we're at 120 roughly, and that was purely, again, just speculation. A lot of this was just speculation. Think about it. Solana hadn't actually developed anything here. The whole narrative was, oh my god, this thing is going to solve the ETH problem of the gas fees, and the narrative was there that this could do rapid transactions, and everyone just just bought into that. Then all of a sudden, we just absolutely dropped because it actually didn't have anything yet. We saw a massive pullback because it wasn't doing anything yet. And obviously this was when the FTX scandal happened, and now we started to see a rise again because Solana has now a very good foundation, and that's why it's in one of the best growths this year. But forget all that for this bull market. Like I said, it's not gonna matter. ICP can do the exactly same thing as this because it's just gonna be another hype train. People are gonna be like, wow, they want to recreate the internet. Look at these ambitious goals. Look at what they're trying to do. This is amazing. And we are gonna see those gains. So how much ICP do you actually need to become a millionaire in this bull run? Well, let's take a look. All right, we're at the $12.66 at the moment. We're at a $5.8 billion market cap. Where can we go from here? Well, a conservative estimate would say this is going to go up 5x to around $50, which would put the market cap at 30 billion, which in some ways actually does seem kind of small. If we take a look at Solana, I mean, it hit 120 billion, just shy, maybe a bit less, when it didn't even have anything really. So 30 billion could be a very conservative estimate. If we can get, it could well be that we could see a 10x this bull run. And I'm not saying that's impossible. It seems quite possible. I would say 5 is pretty much a guarantee. 10 is actually quite possible. I don't see why it can't achieve that. Because if you think about it from here, if we are around this section, we still have almost a double at least to go. I know Bitcoin will at least break 100k, and even if it breaks 100k, for argument's sake, this is gonna hit around $2 trillion market cap. So if we can add another 800 billion to this market cap, we can easily see a very similar trend to Solana. So a conservative estimate, 5x, which would mean you would need 20,000 ICP at $50 to be a millionaire. And if we can get that 10x, you would need 10,000 ICP to be a millionaire. So if you are holding that, well, you're going to be a millionaire, my friend. Those dreams are kind of come true. And nonetheless, guys, you just need to wait. It's going to take some time for this money to trickle out. I think Bitcoin's going to trade sideways a little bit. We're going to see a bit of a pullback, and then we're going to see the money flow into the large caps, which would be the likes of ICP, Render, etc. Those were the big narratives. So you kind of need to forget about where the project is right now. It's more going to just be a hype and speculation on what the project can achieve. And ICP has that drive. It has the grand ambitious goals to get those 5-10x just off those speculative hype. So it's just a case of waiting. But if we do get to that November, December, January, and you are looking at Bitcoin at over 100k, we are looking at Google Trends showing a very high. I would reduce your positions, kind of sell out quite a bit, offload a lot of your crypto, and then just wait for the market to drop and just buy back in. I'm not saying get out exactly then. No one can kind of predict the end of the bull market, but you don't want to be left holding the bag when Bitcoin and every other crypto starts to drop. Because if you've got everything in here, you've hit your $1 million, you're planning those big trips with your pals, and then suddenly it just tanks and you've lost all your profits, you're going to be pretty sad. So just look for a few things of those to align, and then you want to look to get out. But that's my opinion on ICP anyway. I think we've got a lot to run. If you are holding, you're going to see a good return anyway. And imagine just this. Imagine you had that nice, insane percentage. God, you could just literally put $1 in. You could have made your millions, guys. Had you put in your $1, you would have been rich already. But now you got to put in a lot more dollars. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe if you like the video. It really helps trying to hit that 100 subs. That'd be great. Thanks.